as always. Hope you guys like the new start screen. Looks
Yeah, it looks
we're
dope.
getting
I was
official.
admiring that right now.
We're getting official.
Very fancy.
Very official. Boom. That's how we do it here.
Oh, thanks. For me or just drink it? Oh, thank you.
That's how we do
Sweet.
it. That's how we do it. Yo, what up, Zach? Cool, Bearded Raven. Good to see Bearded Raven after a move, a successful move, and life change. Check this out. We're rocking with the White Claw Surge.
Oh yeah, let me know how that is, dude.
Blood
It looks good.
orange. Blood orange. We'll see. Oh, it almost
what
kind of
is
tastes
it?
like a weird orange soda.
Oh,
I don't know. I wish you would have
Like a-
tried the Truly. I'm telling you, dude,
a-
I didn't like the Truly
Like
one, man.
it almost tastes like a sort of like a flat orange soda in a way.
Zach, cool.
do you like that?
Ah,
Do you like
Alright.
that?
you like that, dude? Hey, you know it's pretty good, dude. It gets the job done.
I think I was told. Did you remember those fucking commercials in Adult Swim at like late at night? Bacardi and cola, they get the job done.
I don't know.
Sounds familiar. I
Sounds
remember seeing the
familiar.
singing fish.
I
It
mean,
literally was that. That was their jingle at the end. It would be like an awkward like, yeah, date, and then be like Bacardi and the cola, it gets the job done.
that does, but I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. Bacardi is
sure.
Bacardi is like whatever though, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean-
okay.
That's how I feel like. Like again, like seltzers are. It's a thing right now that a lot of people are getting in, which I still think we should make our own. We're gonna make our own natty seltzer.
Yeah, it's
bro.
super easy.
Well,
3 weeks and we'll have like a couple gallons. We just need the material.
let's do it. I'm down.
Really?
Low Torch
Yeah.
Beer saying cracking them Cayman Jacks currently on my 4th. Dude, that's what's
Nice. Hell yeah,
bro.
dude.
Well, cheers. We'll cheers to that right there.
Yeah, I'll
Boom.
cheers to that.
But anyways, what's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out the podcast, the 15th episode. Dude, we're 5 away from 20, the big 2-0. We're
I thought it was 02. 202.
what's
Wasn't that a show?
What?
Oh, I don't know.
Zoe 101. That was like a show on Nick. It was like with
Wasn't that
Britney
like
Spears' like
Britney's-
younger sister.
Yeah, that was Britney Spears'
Yeah.
younger sister. Yeah. It was not Zoe Deschanel. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out the 15th episode of the Fighters Guild podcast. It's good to be back. After last week, we took a break to help celebrate our friend here, Bearded Raven, whose background has changed again recently because he had
I'm
moved
in
it.
a white box.
He's in a white box.
Sweet. You should find like an even whiter color like paint and like do that on there. dude.
Yeah, you should do eggshell white. You should do like we should. Essentially, like what's the scene from American Psycho when they're all like he's all getting wet on the different types of white. Everybody's like, business cards are.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Eggshell white
Yeah,
on a
that's how-
hard back with.
Exactly,
Like,
dude. That reminds me of like Michael and Jan. Remember? Guess what? Eggshell white and white, exactly the same thing.
Dude, one's way more yellow.
Oh my
Yeah, it's like a
God.
softer white,
Oh my god, fucking Michael. Oh my
semi-gloss white blowtorch.
God. Happy birthday, Andrew. What?
Thank you.
I think he's just feeling the Cayman Jack.
I hope so.
Semi-gloss white.
Semi-gloss
Ooh.
white. Ooh, okay, yeah. Well, anyways, what's up,
Alabaster.
everybody? Appreciate you being here. We unfortunately do not have Justin here today because Justin got called in to work because he's a Mr. Manager, you know, so he has to
Mr. Manager.
he's Mr. Manager. We just say manager, but he likes to be called Mr. Manager.
He's pretty much running the place now.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty sick.
But so he had to go in today, and actually he's actually working with that one he's actually working with that one employee that he really hates. He was talking about it before actually you came, Andrew. He was saying that guy called, and they were all thinking like, oh shit, like he's probably not, he's gonna be calling out, but he actually called to tell him that he was gonna be late. So
Because he was most likely See, he also said when he got there,
yeah,
his eyes were red as shit, and he smelled like blunt.
yeah, so he was probably rolling.
He was just
up.
rolling.
He's like,
Like, hey guys, I'm
I'm
gonna be a little late.
hey fool, I'm gonna be a little late, dude. All right, you know. I like how
Can
we're
you
already. Well, I mean, we already know his name, and we could already assume like how he sounds, but just by his name.
Well, can't they like tell him, like be like, yo?
Oh yeah,
like,
so he was saying that
you
that's
can
what
do
they.
whatever you want on your free time, but like you
Yeah.
cannot come here this like
So
this. Like,
so they were even thinking about like sending him home, but the thing is that
Good,
there's
they'll be more
they're understaffed, and they would be down a cashier associate, so I guess they won't. So it's just like, well, fuck, you know.
That kind of happened to my work right when I left. It was almost like taking a fart before I got to leave, but I was also like, haha.
Nice.
Yeah, I basically
dude.
left them with a same kind of same kind of hire where it's like they knew I don't know. They knew what was going on. They keep fucking up. A lot of
Yeah.
people our turnover was so high. I've complained about
At that place.
Yeah,
Right,
the turnover
yeah.
got pretty nuts just because same things I complained about. You can't have a steady schedule,
Hmm.
and sometimes the good old boys will make you feel like shit if you're not like doing something. And yeah, it was like, yeah, a lot of people came and went pretty fast. Usually, 4 to 6 months, someone would go.
Damn, that's crazy. That's pretty. Yeah, that's super high. They would only last 6 months.
There was
Holy
only
shit.
like there was only a few people that like stayed long. Like I was one of the longest people there before I left, and I was only there for like a year and a half.
Damn, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow, that's horrible. Cinnamon, that's good. That means there will be more stories. Yes, exactly. Yes, that's what we're hoping for. I think he might even be closing with that guy. So he'll probably have like a really funny story by the time he gets off. Blowtorch, I'd rather work more than to deal with the prick. Dude, yeah.
Unfortunately, he's working more and dealing with the prick.
Yeah, exactly, for reals, right? That's the bad part about it too, where because that's what I was telling him. What's the difference between his job and my job is that like what's affecting his job is the fact that he has like an incompetent employee versus like what's affecting like where I work is that we don't have enough associates. For that one, for the store I work at, there's only there's 5 associates and then like 6 managers / like supervisors, so there's only 11 people working at that store. That's so little, you know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. So it's unfortunate that he's dealing with someone who's taking up a spot of someone who could be working there and actually doing at least a little bit better of a job. You don't need someone who's like super motivated, but you need someone who's better than like that freaking moron who can't even stock or do something without being supervised. Like he was saying last night, dude, you guys missed it while him and I were playing Valheim. He was saying last night he pleaded with him to put in the carts because he was like, oh yeah, like it was taking him way longer to do it. So he told him like this should only take you like 15 minutes tops. And then like so he said that he had gone out there and like they were closing, right? And so he said like by the time he got out there, he should have been done, but he wasn't even halfway done yet. So what ended up happening is Justin, with a freaking broken toe, helped this dude collect the carts all over the fucking like parking lot, and they got it done in like 3 minutes, right? And then but what had happened was this guy wasn't listening to him because he wasn't trying to collect the carts that didn't have their logo on it, and he was saying like, no dude, you need to collect those carts. Justin was telling him like dude, you need to collect those carts. And that guy was saying like, no, look, they don't have our logo. And then Justin was like, dude, just collect the carts. Those are our carts. And then that guy was still like, no, look, there's our logo's not on it. And that Justin turned out and was like, he said his name like, please collect the carts, please, I'm asking you, please. He said that guy was just like, oh fine. you know. And I was just like, dude, how embarrassing. Imagine like being a customer and you hearing something like that go down. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, and he was just like laughing, like, you know, later while we were playing Valheim, he was just laughing like, dude, like I had to like beg this guy to do the minimal shit. And he's like, and then I told him, he didn't even realize this, but I was like, dude, yeah, and you with the broken toe like reduced his like time doing the task. Like, how crazy is that, dude? You know. And they still, by the way, also let's address the fact that Justin has a broken toe and his job is still calling him in. How insane is that? And he, you know, and it happened at work. How his injury happened, you know. It wasn't his job's. Dude. It wasn't his job's fault, you know. He said, you know, you know what I mean. It's, or at least like in terms of like nefarious activities, you know what I mean. But something happened where like I guess he like ran in or walked into a pallet, something like that. So it's yeah, so you know, so he broke his toe. But anyways, dude, it's crazy, you know, like that they yeah, that he
calling him in.
Yeah, calling him in, and also the fact that like he has to deal with like this fucking guy.
As my other store.
Yeah, and they have to deal with this one guy too, right? You know, this like super incompetent fucking asshole. He pleaded with him, bro. I am laughing so hard like Joe Rogan. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, it's like, dude, at the end of the day though, I appreciate Justin's approach to it, because he's like, dude, you can only laugh, which is true, right? And I was telling him, like, you know, I sort of can understand where he's probably coming from, because I was saying, like, you know, he's probably young, probably, and he said he's around maybe like 24, 25, which I was like, ooh. Well, I thought he was probably a little bit younger, to be honest. But like, I was doing that stuff when I was hanging out with well, I mean, I guess we could say the name, JP or Borsak Jr. So when I was working where I used to work, making sandwiches, remember, right? I was doing the same stuff that guy was doing, that, you know, that he's doing over there, where he works at the grocery store with Justin, right? You know, I was like getting super high in my car, like being like super obnoxious, showing up to work. But like, what actually had happened is my like, I started off as a really good employee, but that I started doing those bad things towards the end when I was already getting ready to quit because of stuff that had happened, you know, with other workers there. So my story is different than that guy, because apparently he started off really horrible, you know, and just not giving a shit. I, at least, because it was actually one of my first jobs I had gotten. It's pretty local to me, right? So I took it very seriously, like, at first. But yeah, after like pretty much like having a bad experience and then getting ready to quit, I sort of I did a lot of that stuff. But anyways, you know, it's so I can kind of understand that. I can kind of understand that perspective, you know, like that kid's like having that young, dumb perspective, you know. But at the end of the day, I guess it's a little bit different, because this guy sounds really dumb, you know.
I was laughing at what Blowtorch said, making the best Rubens in Los Angeles, carnal.
That's funny. So it said, I had a job once where on my very first day of work, a girl I was working with started crying, saying how miserable she was working there, and she quit the next day. I was like, what did I just get myself into? Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's when you get
the job.
Was it that bad? That's when you get hired, and then you're like, dude, I just got into some crazy shit. That's how I felt. That's how I felt working at the job I got before, right before when pandemic happened. It was a corporate, you know, it was like one of my first like, or second job out of college, right? Sort of a career-esque job. But, you know, a corporate office setting and everything. And dude, there was just so much drama. It almost felt like high school. It was crazy. And my supervisor was insane. Like, every other day, dude, she'd be like crying behind me because of how stressed she was. But then these people show up, they're supposed to be there at 9 o'clock, mind you, and they were showing up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then when they got there, they were talking all the time. So it's like, dude, that's why you guys are stressed, because you guys don't freaking work, you know, because they're on salary. So technically they can show up and they don't have to clock in, right? You know, but it's hilarious.
What kind of job was this in, Ben? You hated it?
I'm curious. Yeah, I think I might know even which one she's talking about, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think I told you too, when I was working at that bar when I got the dishwasher job, and then like after the first night, they made me work on I don't know, during the weekend during a rush, and then so it was basically to throw you in the flames. And so
Yeah.
at the end, the guy was like, "So I know this sucks. Do you want the job?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I guess I don't."
I mean,
Yeah.
it's hey, bro. At the end of the day, here's the thing, which is what I was telling even my coworkers too, because apparently there's other coworkers we have that don't want to work weekends, and it's like, dude, you got to put in your time when it comes to working retail. That's just how it is. No one wants to fucking do it, man. You know. But at the end of the day, like working retail and things like that, and something I said I wouldn't do, right? You know, I told myself before that, but you know, I mean, times have changed. No one like really planned for a pandemic, but overall, it's still something you kind of have to put your work in, right? You know, you put it, you work weekends, especially if you're new. I feel like that's pretty much the schedule you get when you're a newbie. They have you
Yeah.
work weekends, you know.
I didn't start putting in like more for weekends off when I was like making a schedule after like a year or so, and when I realized they kept
And
passing me
that's
up
even
for
too
different
late,
stuff,
I would
and I was
say.
like, okay, fuck it. And then I even tried to switch it too, and I was like, hey, now that you're telling me I can only prepare for 12 hours a week, I'm gonna work only weekends. And he was like fucking so weird about it, and it's like, why? You have literally everyone else that wants weekends
That
off, and
wants
I have no
weekends off.
problem with working
Yeah,
weekends.
yeah,
And yeah, they were just fucking weird.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's
Yeah, it
crazy.
sounds
It's
weird as hell. That sounds like a win-win for
exactly
them.
that
Like,
is
oh, we
that
got someone
is
to cover weekends. Yeah,
exactly
easy. That makes their job a lot
it was
easier.
weird.
exactly, bro. Exactly, because you could schedule someone, especially if you want to work weekends. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have mind working like
This is yeah.
3 8 hour shifts. You know, like a full
That's
day's
what I would
work.
have
Yeah,
preferred, but they
exactly,
always
right.
fucked with stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, how crazy.
Um,
It just that just seems like like maybe someone like how you said, right? He would go through like power trips, huh? So he
I
probably just
also
didn't
think
want
it's
to.
like it's yeah, it's a power trip, and it's basically them not really doing their job. Like, because if you have a preferred schedule, like all of us even talked to each other about what our schedule was, and we're like, dude, we all like would fit perfectly. Why do they keep throwing it off? Or like they'll
Yeah,
have us say close the night and then go open for the truck in the morning at 3 a.m. And we're like, why would you do that when we have an entire cashier people that never do the truck? Why not have them close on a truck night? That would be
yeah.
and we talked to them too, and they're like, "Yeah, that makes more sense." And it's like, "What the fuck? Why don't I don't know?"
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
so
You're absolutely
weird.
right. Let me do the opposite when I schedule people. Dude, that's so funny because
It
something
was
sort of
yeah.
happened like that to me when I was watching my my schedule for the next couple of weeks. They actually did like a clopin. They scheduled me to close, and then they
Yeah.
scheduled me to open the next day. And I was like, what the
That's
fuck?
exactly what I'm talking
And
about.
then
But the opens
and
at 3.
yeah, yeah. So that dude,
4, sorry.
that's insane. That's freaking crazy. Either way, but Sinbin, who used to work at Yogurtland, she had said that when she used to make the schedule, she would at least call people and be like, "Hey, dude, like, you know, we need someone to open, and you close this day. Like, is that okay with you?" And if they were okay with it, then she would schedule that. But for the most part, if they
That's
weren't
what
okay
it's
with it,
supposed to be.
then they would figure it out. Essentially, get someone else to cover it. You know.
I
Blowtorch
think the
says, I
rule.
remember work. Oh, my bad. I was gonna say, Blowtorch, I remember working at a call center for the first time, and after 6 weeks, 7 people left. I was like, oh shit. that dog emoji is so hilarious. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a BL.
Yeah, just mad.
Right? Sinbin, it was when I was working as a therapist, but my supervisor was psycho and the stress was insane. That girl spent her last 2 weeks telling me I shouldn't work there because of the stress and our supervisor. And then later on, I realized she was right. Ooh, damn, a little bit of a crazy foreshadow. I cried and
Dude, I
warned the
did the
next
same
person
thing.
who replaces me like she did for me. It's just a cycle. It keeps like going.
I had the
LOL,
same thing
JK,
at another
JK,
job
exclamation
too.
mark.
Like people were like, "Dude, don't work there. This is gonna happen to you." And I thought they were like the fuck up employees, but I
Yeah,
realized that they've been working there so long that they're just so tired of babysitting them. And I was just
yeah.
like, "Oh God!" And then this new person was coming in to replace me, and I'm like, "I know
Good
what's
luck.
happening, and I'm gonna warn you." So here
Yeah.
you go. And they're like, "No, I'm prepared for it." I'm like, "All right, that's what I said.
No, you're
Buckle
not
up.
prepared
You're
for
not
Goodbye."
it, dude.
prepared. You are not
Like,
prepared. It's just exactly like Illidan, bro. Like to Burning Crusade. You are not prepared. Like, no, straight up, they're not. They're not. And that's the thing too about it, where, you know, it's crazy because I was even thinking about that when I was watching a training video where I was working. You know, they were showing the process like, oh, like because we're going through a new promotion, right? So they were showing the process of how they come up with promotions, and they were saying, oh, the marketing team gets together and puts all these procedures together, blah blah blah, and then it gets shipped to this and design, and then finally the last part was like, and then it gets sent to your store where you, the most important part of this, gets to push this product. And essentially, like, they're trying to glamorize the fact that, like, we're the lowest level employee, where it's like all these people who actually were part of the process, right? Like, they came up with the labeling, they came up with the box, they came up with the presentation, right? So they actually can feel like they're part of that product, like, oh, I sold that, or not sold that, oh, I made that, or I had a I designed that label or something like that, right? Where that could actually mean something.
They're being alienated from their labor.
Yeah, exactly. No, but what I'm saying is that at least, like, lower level employees, right, where things like that, where they try to say you should feel close or proud about that, right? But it's really hard to, because the only thing you're doing is just really selling. I mean, I guess where I work at is different, because I can offer suggestions on alcohol, because it's an alcohol store, right? So I could do that, and I do try to do that for the most part, because at least it helps time pass with work. But for the most part, it's like, how do you expect a lower level employee to get really, really passionate about something, unless you go, like, out of the way to sort of foster that sort of, like, work environment?
I think that's why they try to do the, like, you're a part of this family,
yeah,
so you're a part of this,
and which product. Was because it's crazy. What I was even telling Sinbin, how the difference between the Dunkin' Donuts by my house versus or Starbucks, where these people are so fucking unmotivated, they're so freaking slow, versus, like, at Starbucks you get people who are really, really into Starbucks, who work for Starbucks, where that's their life. I had coworkers like that too when I worked at Starbucks. You have, like, you have the regular employees, and then you have people where it's like it's their life, where they're even picking up shifts and working at other Starbucks within their districts, because you could do that, because it's the same protocol everywhere. So it was just really crazy. And I also think maybe it also had something to do with the company policy, right, where you got certain incentives, right, when you worked at Starbucks longer. You got stock options, you got to build money as you worked. So,
well, it was really fancy. It was like, I would almost say, like, an Apple store for, like, coffee.
Yeah,
exactly. A while ago.
Yeah.
And it was like a big thing to be like an artisanal, like, coffee person that knew how to do all these, like, things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I don't know.
Right. Yeah. It's just really interesting, right? Seeing, like, the differences in how different businesses can foster sort of like that culture in their employees, right? Because you don't really see that at McDonald's,
Well, some people might.
Apparently, there's, like, a really fancy McDonald's in New York that's like 2 stories, and it's actually, like, gourmet.
It's the restaurant, right?
Yeah, like 2 stories, really fancy. I was like, oh, dude, I forgot what I was watching on Snapchat stories. The Snapchat stories are actually pretty cool. I follow the Insider one, and there's like a story besides the McDonald's one. There's a story on, like, a specific salt out of, like, Mexico. Like, there's these flats that these families run, and then they just, like, do everything by hand. They don't have machinery. Like, I don't know, they're pretty cool, man. I didn't realize Snapchat was that, like, in depth with their articles and, like, the content that they produce.
Yeah. So I remember Gary Vee talked about it on Joe's podcast last time he was on. He was saying he wanted Snapchat to try kind of be like a new media hub. So he's trying to expand it. He's trying to expand it past, like, just sending like what's it called, snaps and shit like that. So that's what they're even trying to have TV show, like Snapchat TV shows, and I think they already do have shit
they
like
do,
that.
Yeah, I follow the Food Network.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they're trying to do that. Fucking Gary Vee's, like, on it, dude. Lord Torch said, I worked at Home Depot for 3 days many years ago. The pay for the work I was doing didn't add up, so I bounced while I was a cashier. Dude, that's hilarious.
The can.
Yeah, dude. That's the best way to use that emoji, bro. That's the equivalent to saying thug life, bro, and just bouncing, dude.
That's what it feels like. Life, I mean, when I was stuck and needed money, I took the job, but I was looking for the way out immediately. Working at, like, Carl's Jr., it's so much stress for a job that pays nothing, and you're like, I could work anywhere else that would pay more. Like, even any other basic job, this is just so much more stressful.
Yeah, that's why, like, I feel like that's where the good part of automation is, right? Like, did you guys see that new robot that Boston Dynamics came out with? That
I think so. I'm not sure.
It could stack. I think it's either 8.
It.
Yeah, I did. I could stack.
Oh,
Or I could. No, it can. It could stack either 800 or 900 boxes per hour, which is equivalent to as fast as humanly possible. So just imagine if you had the most badass employee ever, and he was just like super quick, or they were super quick. I don't mean to say only a guy could do that. They were super quick, and just imagine that robot could already do that. It's insane.
I hope it turns into the automation, like utopia that we hope it is. Like I hope we actually can get rid of those fucking jobs and be like, yeah, we'll just maintain the robots and it won't turn into like,
right?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the automation has meant like less workers for more work, even though it seems like it should be the opposite. Like, shouldn't our workload be going down if technology's getting better?
Yeah, I think the thing about it is that the jobs that are being taken away are like really low skilled work like that, and we have a lot of people in America that are low skilled workers.
I think,
and that doesn't mean that it's not hard work, right? That doesn't mean it's not hard or not stressful, because it is. We were literally just talking about it right now. Like, I'm a low skilled like essential worker essentially right now, and it is fucking stressful. It is hard sometimes. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? We don't have to moralize things. We could call it what it is, but I think that's the thing about it. More people have more of like that low skill work, and it's like a sort of like almost similar to the conversations that we've talked about before, right? Is that people have gravitated less away like from trades and stuff like that too. So as these jobs like become less available, I think that's where the argument for like UBI comes in, right? Like a universal basic income. It's like we're gonna have people that are gonna be out of work because those jobs are not gonna be available anymore. So how can we still have them be functioning people in society, right?
And then even if we get
participating in an economy,
I feel like one of the hard parts too is like applying it to the regular part of society. Usually when you get those robots, they might be in a few factories, but when it gets to like infrastructure is when it really starts like benefiting, I guess, the workers, I would say. But
yeah,
it also depends on like the means of production that we're heading towards too, and like the future, like everything, textiles, clothes. Right now we outsource to other countries, but how soon until we have them here, and we're just using robots instead of outsourcing?
That might be better. We have plenty of fucking land. We need to like,
yeah,
I don't know,
and that dude, no, that's so crazy because I even told that to
the US. I don't know.
Yes, no, I totally agree, because I even told that to Matt when I flew back from Colorado to California. I was like, dude, there's so much land that you fly over that is
middle
empty.
America. It's just...
yes, and it's like I don't understand how we haven't used any of that or anything. You know what I mean?
Because we don't have really an infrastructured city out there.
Yeah,
everyone's like sticking a bet unless you like you and 10 friends go and like do.
It's true. I mean, it's true.
It's gonna be hard to do that.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, there's just so much land, right? But we as like society have already established these big coastal cities, or these cities that are sort of like in betweener cities between the coastal cities, at least on the left hemisphere of like the United States, the West Coast, right? Like from where we live in Southern California, what's up north, right? You get like Riverside or something.
The Pacific Northwest.
Oh, no, I meant like in terms of cities, right? And even Riverside, which is like 40 minutes away from us, is considered like, oh shit, you're out there, right? And then going into like the Redlands and stuff, and then when you're going out there, that's where all these stereotypes come in, like, oh, there's a lot of drugs out there because there's nothing to fucking do out there.
And then it's like, oh yeah, it's like crack or not crack meth. It's like heavy meth out there. It's dirty.
But it's because the idea is that there's nothing to do out there, right? So people just fucking just smoke meth and do whatever.
But the reason there's nothing to do out there is because no one's investing in it to put stuff to do. So
who really, as an investor, who really wants to go spend money to build all this out there in the to nowhere in the desert where it's hot?
I mean, that's true, but like, I mean,
did you guys ever see California?
That's how you would get people to invest and come into a city, right? That's what I would say would be
value.
That's what.
That's
would be. I would say
Springs is able to work like that.
Well, yeah,
that's one of the few instances that does work.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what your job as like I guess like a mayor would be, right? To how to figure out how to expand your city and bring people there and to bring, like startups or new tech companies, right, to solve the crisis of brain drain, right? Like getting college educated people like us to stay in their home state rather than leaving and seeking opportunity like elsewhere, like in LA or Northern California, right?
A problem the desert's having too is Airbnb's taking up all the lower income housing. So when you have people working all the shit jobs, they have nowhere to stay. Really, it's like when I was living in the desert, that was a lot of the problems that I'd see. Like there wasn't many other places to live except for really big shitholes, and I don't know. There was like no medium household that you could really get.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's kind of is how it is over here in Southern California too. Simon says it's crazy when jobs like that pay minimum wage but expect you to give it your all. When I worked at Round Table Pizza, they used to have corporate call us randomly to test us if we were answering the phone and advertising whatever special offer they had. Whoa, that is so crazy.
What kind of offers did they have?
Go ahead, type it up in chat.
I would die for pizza. Yeah. It's just like the hell corporate wants you to act.
Oh my god! If we didn't, they would write us up. Oh my god! I used to get so much anxiety about it. I would just avoid answering the phone. Oh shit!
I'm busy. I can't answer that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then couldn't it be a problem? Go ahead.
I'll start. I said I almost like turned into Dennis when I was working at Carl's Jr. because I would like you'd turn on the thing and then I'd be like, "Hello, Carl's Jr." I remember I was just like, "Dude, you're making this sound a lot better than where you're fucking working."
Yeah, like, dude, that's so funny, man. Yesterday too, like just a quick aside too, like yesterday someone called right at like 8:50 and we're like, "Do you guys close? You guys close right at 9? Because we close at 9." And I said yes, and then they said, "Okay, well I'm like 5 to 10 minutes away. If I get there before 9, can I still shop?" And I said, if you can get here before 9 and get everything and be in and be out by 9, yeah, definitely. And then she was like, okay, well, I'll be there. So, all right, well, I'll be there. Like expecting me to hold the door open. And we're like, no, dude, like it's freaking like we have our own lives. You realize that, right? Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, SpongeBob, filled with all the memes. The guy walking up to it and he's like, "Are you guys open? Read the sign."
Yeah,
I'll have the number 1 with extra.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Seriously. Oh my god, that's so funny. Simon says, but then couldn't it be a problem if the natives of that area want to keep it that way, like people who like the quiet life? Yeah, I mean it could, but then again, like it's I still feel like there could still be room for for that as well. Again, there is so much
well, the
land
Airbnb
out there.
brings more noise. All you have is like party people from LA is what they'll complain about versus the locals like trying to live there.
Yeah, I would even say look at how like Big Bear is, right? You get a lot of that out in Big Bear and like up in the mountains.
It's like
right?
A vacation place
exactly.
Instead of like a community.
Exactly. Mostly people go there, to go party, right? So I would say that's even already happening. So yeah, it's a difficult situation, but I would still say that would probably be the best in terms of if you were a city and trying to figure out how to spruce it up, how to get your economy
it's
going.
Essentially like a development of like a new city. Like my buddy lives around the Hemet area, so it's like Hemet, Paris, Menifee. And when he first moved out there, like 6 years ago, there was like nothing. It was like desert. But now, 6 years later, now they have In-N-Out. They have all types of restaurants now. It's
nice.
Like
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
Now it's not just desert. Now they actually have some things to do, and it's still like slowly expanding. And now the housing value is going up. Like where he lives, like I was talking to one of the people, and they're like, yeah, like the housing value on the current property has doubled right now because now there's more things to do. It's
shit.
Sick. Like,
yeah.
So like essentially what you're talking about is happening. It's just
it happens at a slower rate.
It's just infrastructure. It's
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's starting to happen around here too. Now, since I've been gone from here for like 3 years, there's a lot of like empty like lots that I see like turning into some pretty nice apartments that basically pull what happened to me. Kids come up here for college, they fall in love with it, and then live here for however long, and they might stay. But
yeah. I mean, that's even happened to where in the area where Bosco and I live. There's a lot more like a lot of those lots are being built now with those townhomes too. Remember, but they're so
a bunch of
expensive,
townhomes.
dude.
Yeah.
Apparently, those townhomes were like around 700 grand and up, man. And they're
The
two.
one down the street from my house is like 2,000 for like a 1 or 2 bedroom. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's
dude.
insane, bro. That is insane.
That girl that I dated when we were playing D&D, their apartment was insane. The one that was on beach,
off beach, I imagine anything.
Yeah.
you know those
pricey.
big apartments near that like bear restaurant thing.
Oh yeah. The Blackberry Diner.
Those were fancy.
Wait,
Like,
right
they were
across
like,
the street?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's apartments there.
No,
Or
I
there's
know. I'm just saying
townhomes
that
there.
it's those.
yeah.
Whoa, no way. We just talked.
I was like
about access.
intimidated, where I was like, dude, you get. I'm scared to ask how much your rent is. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
dude, that was so crazy. Townhouses here start at 850 to 1500. Whoa,
That's dirt,
that's
dude.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, over here, a 1-bedroom studio apartment like by my college is around starting like probably 1650, goes up almost to like around $2,000, and that's a 450 square foot studio apartment. That's insane. That is so small. That's like you don't even get that in The Sims. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
know
you
my
get a
parents'
500 by
house?
500 in The Sims. Like,
You know, my
Jesus
parents'
Christ.
house, the Burger King right next to it. There's an
Yeah.
apartment right there that you can get. That's a 1-bedroom for 1,800, and you can have
Wow.
that
Wow, what a
same
steal.
Wow.
cubic piece and be right next to the drive-through.
Jesus Christ.
That sounds great to
dude.
me, dude. I'd
Oh
walk
my
there all the
God.
time.
I mean,
oh, wait,
hey-
there's an In-N-Out right there too.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
there
it's
is.
a good school
Oh, it's the
district. It's a
In-N-Out.
good school.
The
Yeah,
In-N-Out,
there's an In-N-Out
The
walking.
In-N-Out made it more pricey to live there.
It's actually getting pretty nice around here in some places. In some ways, yeah, there's actually more shit to do. And I think also Brea's getting like fancy-ish.
Dude, Brea's
I
been
feel like
always,
Brea's always been
yeah,
pretty
it's always
fancy,
been
yeah.
fancy. I've
But
always
like it just
been
keeps
like
getting
seen
more and
Brea's
more.
fancy.
I feel.
Like I remember going to the Brea Mall when I was a kid, always thinking that was the best mall compared to the Montebello Mall, compared to like Stonewood. I always thought Brea Mall was like the best one.
I feel like the one that's the fanciest is the one in City of Industry, where they have
Puente
That was
that,
always
Hills?
my
ins-
favorite. The Puente Hills Mall.
Really?
I was always like,
It's
dude,
I like
this
Puente
is
Hills
like
just because of the
arcade and like
theater.
crazy like movie theater. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it
Speed
had
Zone
the
was
3D
right there.
movie theater.
Speed Zone was
Call.
there. Yeah, exactly. Dude, round
Last
one.
time I went there with my like Zoomer cousins,
round
the arcade was
one.
nuts.
Dude,
Yeah, I've
round
been to
one. Oh my god,
around one
dude.
a long time.
Oh my god.
What is that?
I don't even round
It's just
one.
a-
Is it a bar?
It's pretty much like a mini Dave and Buster's.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's pretty much like a mini
think
Dave and
that's
Buster's.
Where I went then, because I remember drinking at like an arcade that also had a bowling ring. And
Yeah, they
Yep,
had
yep,
bowling.
that's-
okay.
Yeah, we would
That
go
was
there to
cool.
play pool sometimes. Remember, Bosco? We'd play pool. We'd also go
play
there to
pool,
go
we'd
raise
bowl.
people. To raise people in the initial D
Oh, an
video
initial
game.
D, yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Blowtorch said, "What happened to malls? We don't have malls anymore." Yeah, I mean it's true. Most people do town centers now. To be honest, I don't know if you guys have
Yeah,
noticed
they
that.
like
Like,
the open like
yeah,
layout. But I
like an
prefer
open.
mall, honestly.
I mean, it's I don't
Something
mind
I'm-
whatever. Like I enjoy like the Citadel. You know what I mean? Like Citadel's cool. It's not a mall, but like
it gets too crowded for me there.
well, I mean in
Like,
terms of that
yeah.
layout, like the open like
Yeah.
terrace.
Look
open
pretty much like
terrace
the block
feel.
of orange. Just
Exactly,
like the same
yeah.
thing.
Did you guys
Exactly,
ever
I
go
mean-
to Cabazon?
What's
No,
that?
what's that?
Cabazon, the like
Jinx,
fancy
you make
outlet
a-
mall, and like if you're heading out towards Joshua Tree, you'll see it. It's like a huge outlet mall. It's kind of fancy as fuck, but it's like an outdoor mall. But yeah, if you ever, I'm surprised you guys haven't gone there. A lot of people go down there for just some random ass shit.
I've
Nah,
never been to Joshua Tree, or I don't
I've
even
been
know like
to-
where that.
It's like on the way to that casino.
Morongo?
we've been to
Yeah,
Joshua Tree.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bosco, what are you talking about?
I didn't go with you, dude.
What?
You guys had invited me,
Shit.
but then you guys invited someone else, and he said yeah first. But that was the guy who said freaked out. Like,
That's the guy who freaked. Wow,
yeah,
wow.
this
But
guy
now
who
we have a
freaked out, and
funny
you guys were
story.
like, damn, we should have brought you. I was like, yeah, you should have.
Yeah, we should have.
They have a Nike
Zach
store,
comes
North
in.
Face store.
Zach comes in to talk about clothing. Fucking preem pusher over here. Oh
Hell
my
yeah,
god.
dude.
They have a Nike store, North Face store. Oh my god, that's
Respect,
hilarious.
North Face is good. We drove
Dude,
by it with
speaking of
Jonathan.
North Face, all right.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
see that? Yeah, Zach was with you guys too.
yeah, Zach was there. Yeah, that was Zach's.
Oh, they
that
did
was
go
Zach's
by.
friend that he invited. Oh my god! But I've been to the outlets out there in Lake Elsinore that one time. I think I even went with your parents too, Junior. I think it was your parents and my parents and me. You weren't there though. I think you had stayed home.
I went to some on the way back from Vegas.
You were always staying home. My parents always took me when they went shopping. I don't know why, but you always stayed home. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to go shopping. Why would I don't care. I'll stay home, play like Halo.
Bro, that was my acid. I mean candy. Hey dude, that's both. Holla. Oh. But yeah, no, it's I mean, I enjoy like the open air terrace and all that. I like the plaza feel. I really do, especially at night. It's pretty nice, and I think it works especially when you live in SoCal, because now that my brother, when he comes to visit from Colorado, he's always saying that like, you know, like that's why that also adds to like the value of living out here in Southern California, right? Is the weather, you know.
Did you go to Malibu?
Yeah,
I've never been to
Malibu.
Malibu
Last week.
There's like another open air terrace mall thing.
I haven't been there. I went to this lobster roll spot right there, and if you guys have heard like of Nobu, that's like the restaurant everyone wants to go to. It's all like bougie. All the rappers go there.
No.
But the lobster roll spot I'm talking about is like 10 minutes from there, and it's so good.
Hey,
That's why I was at Malibu
better.
like 2 weeks ago when you told me like, hey, you coming to the podcast? I was like, shit, I'm in Malibu, dude. I totally forgot.
You just called in, bro.
It's a fancy place.
You should just call in with your have the background noise of the restaurant.
Yeah. Well, it was all like open seating. It's nice out there, dude. Malibu's really nice.
Yeah, me and my
but I don't
friends
know where
went
that
out there
mall
to
is you're
like.
talking about, Andrew.
Me and my friends went out there to hike, like this crazy cool hike, because yeah, when you're out there, there's a lot of cool spots. But then we went to the mall afterward, and everyone was like looking at us and like giving weird snide comments because we look like fucking shit because we just came out of the woods. Like...
Dude, that's hilarious. Same thing happened to freaking like me, Borsak and Edwin. And were you there, Junior? Where we went to Marco Danko's, remember? We were saying that we were saying Borsak. Yeah, we all came out from like a hike, especially out there. Like we had like took a couple shiitakes, you know what I'm saying? So we were like tripping too. And after we were done with everything, we were like, oh man, let's go to Marco Danko's, which was this this pizza place by where we were at. And when we went there, we're all like covered in like dirt. Our ankles have dirt and everything. We were saying our friend at the time had like Jesus sandals because he was wearing like the Tom shoes and they were the brown color. So like canvas, you know.
I think they were like ripped too.
Yeah, they were ripped. His ankles were also
awful,
yeah, we looked awful,
yeah,
dude.
They were just looking at us. Like,
yeah, everybody
hey,
was,
like,
but we were having the time of our lives, dude. Like just coming down from like, you know, tripping and everything. But that's so funny, dude. That happened to you too. It's crazy, right?
Another
when people
one
can
too was like
notice when you're outsiders, like, oh, what's going on?
There's another one. I ripped my pants and I needed to get a new pair and like I looked like shit. I didn't even know I'd ripped them that bad. So I went to Target and I was shopping for a while and I got all my shit and I was like, oh fuck, I forgot my wallet in my car. So I was walking towards the front fast because I'm just gonna leave the basket near the front and go get it. But because I was walking fast and I just dropped it down, I looked behind me as I'm like, because I already like I left it in, you know, before the cash registers because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come back and buy it. Yeah. But as soon as I put it down and started walking more, I turned around and I saw like there's a few people with like radios watching me. I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at my radio by it, and then when I'm looking at my pants, like full on my whole pocket was ripped off. I think my ass was like hanging out and I didn't even fucking
hilarious.
know. Like,
that's hilarious, bro. You just looked like a freaking crazy ass like homeless dude. Like, oh, watch this guy.
I need clothes.
Yeah. Hold on. Freaking Java's knocking on the door.
I was like, oh, no, I'm not. I actually do intend to pay, but
yeah. Pull a torch with those little memes.
What is that fate?
Dude, you know what's funny? That always sucks. Like when like leaving your wallet, because that's happened to me a couple of times when it's been crucial, and that also happened to Sinbin last time we were up there in Big Bear. she went to the freaking market to go get, you know, mixers for our drinks and everything, and then she came back. She didn't even come back. She called me and saying like, "Oh, babe, did I leave my wallet there?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you did." So she had to come back. I was like, "Damn, that sucks." But you know what? At least I didn't have to deal with that.
I've done that like at restaurants before, and I always get scared like they're gonna think I'm gonna like dine and dash. From like I just go back and like grab my wallet really fast. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dine and dash, dude. Like I have the money.
I did.
I
I
always
did
get
that.
those,
To,
like,
I did
little-
that to Sinbin when we first started dating. I told her I forgot my wallet, and she had to pay.
But you didn't really?
Yeah, I didn't really forget my wallet.
Nice.
It was a test. It was a test to see if she would pay.
Yeah, I hate it when you
She
like.
did.
Like, I love certain energy drinks, so when I go to a liquor store looking for it and they don't have it, I feel so fucking awkward. And you're like, you didn't have what I wanted. And you're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that I
right, dude.
don't
You
care
stole some
about.
fucking
I-
chips.
I feel weird about that even in dispensaries, bro. I feel like I still have to buy something. I'm like, oh god, I feel like this
Nah,
is
you
so-
shouldn't, dude.
Really?
It's your money. Use
You
it
think-
when you need it. Yeah,
You
like,
think-
I've
you
gone
think-
into
you don't
places
think-
and not bought it.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
yeah, this shit looks like trash. Like, all right, see you.
All right. I
Like,
guess
just-
I'll
yeah,
I'll
just
start doing
leave,
that
dude.
more then. Yeah, I got to start
Yeah.
treating them like real shops because beforehand it's just
It's a store, bro.
yeah,
you
that's
gotta
true.
Buy shit.
If you want to
That's true.
feel like you're being defensive, you'd ask him if you have, like, hey, do you have these? And be like, no. And be like, all right, see you.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
pretty
Yeah, you
much.
can make something up. Hey, do you have a scooter booters? What? Ah, never mind. I'm out.
Do you have, sorry, what? Do you have the,
Yeah.
what? All right,
Oh,
see.
you don't have it. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Fuck,
oh
dude.
shit.
All right, I'll go.
Dang, you better
One
refund
night,
me.
you ever
I've
get 'em?
refunded you in more ways than one. I'm just kidding. No,
Oh.
no. I will. I'll Venmo you right now. Just kidding. No, but yeah, that's hilarious, dude. Yeah, I guess I will start doing that because I've always like been like, fuck, I feel bad, right? And then there was that rumor that you can only go to 2 during the day or throughout the day, right? Remember that?
Oh yeah, you could. Oh, it was like 4. You can only.
Oh, it
have,
was
like,
4? I thought it was like
yeah,
you could only go to 2. Well, like when in the Wild West,
What?
back in the days of the Wild West when you needed like a medical card. Yeah, this fucking guy. When you needed a medical card, you can only the rumor was that you can only go to 2 dispensaries like or twice a day or something like that. You can only go twice a day.
Yeah.
Then you were locked
I
out.
didn't know that. Never heard of that.
It was ridiculous. It was just a rumor, but I mean, you never really needed to go to more shops than like 2.
Yeah. I've
Like,
heard some
oh,
people
you-
though like go on like road trips to every clinic in town to get the first deal special everywhere, but
Oh yeah.
sometimes you'll get
FTP
free shit.
The FTP specials really went downhill once like things got legalized.
And also when things got more popular, right? I feel like, dude, I feel like first time patient deals used to be so good back in the day. They used to be like,
they did.
they used to be like, oh, get 10 G's for $50, and it'd be like, wow, bro, you know, like,
Yeah.
Because they really want you to come back. They're like, for the love of God, just
know.
make us your regular.
yeah,
They
exactly.
served
No,
you up
that's
to, like
true,
a dab of some
dude.
decent stuff. It wasn't poop
Dude.
soup. It wasn't super like dark brown. It was like, hey, this is some
Yeah.
pretty good stuff, and it
Yeah.
was a bad dab.
Exactly, dude. That's how it was
and
back in the day.
joints on top of the dab. Like, dude, yeah, they used to hook it up. Like, I
Yeah,
remember TLC. Now it's like Jungle Boys. Back in the day, their FTP was a little half gram, a little pipe, and a lighter, and they'd
Oh,
give that out
damn.
all the time, dude. Like, I didn't go there for like a year, so when I came back, I got it again. I was like, oh shit, dude, I forgot they did that, and they were giving out to like a lot of people, bro, because that shop got really popular, so they eventually
Yeah.
stopped. But yeah, dude, the first time patient deals used to be really great.
They were doing a lot of gimmicks. I was surprised the clinic near your guys' house that, well, I thought it was even fancy just to have a whole dab bar and the stuff that they had going where they had like a DJ going and stuff. But
Oh, the one that when Barktos was working at.
I think so. Because we'd go there and then, yeah, you'd get like a free dab and go in the back and there was like a
Yeah.
spot to like sit and chill if you want and talk.
Yeah,
Kinda,
yeah, there-
it was
yeah.
kind of more
that
like a
was
coffee
that
shop
was where
vibe
Barktos
than
was
just a
at.
dispensary.
Remember, Junior?
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. Cool.
I went there like a handful of times
I
just to
went-
see him, honestly.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
actually
yeah,
convinced
same
my
here.
dad to like go to clinics now, and he's like they're so weird. Why is it like a club? Like,
Yeah, I hate how it's
weird
always like
music
the
and
trap
shit.
music. It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
dude, play
dude.
something different. Like,
See,
I don't care.
And that's what I was telling. That's what I was telling you, like Sinbad, right? Like the way how like the industry is. It's very really geared towards that sort of life, right? Where it's like
The
people, they
actual
want-
like weed lifestyle.
yeah,
you
exactly.
know?
Like they
Yeah.
don't really care about like someone who's knowledgeable working. They really care more about eye candy and or just essentially just having like a group of girls working, right, and then like a guy security guard. um and sometimes they'll have like specials and throughout the day or whatever, but for the most part it's not really, it's a different type of customer service, right? It's more geared towards like the aesthetic versus actual customer service. Like I remember there's one place in Anaheim, I think it was called like AHC or Anaheim Holistic Club, where it was like a whole bunch of dudes working, dude. And I think it was also one of the first real shops in Anaheim, but that was the first time I ever heard a bartender use the word cerebral to discuss a high of a bud that I was going to buy. And I was like, whoa, bro. Like, I like it. But again, I didn't go back because of like the taxes, you know, because I was younger at the time, so I couldn't afford it. I can now, which I probably should see if they still exist. But like, it's just, yeah, man.
I'm sure they do. If they were like an official like, clinic taxing, I'm sure they still exist. Like the one we went to a long time ago, like sometime last year, called Haven.
Yeah, Haven, they're still good. Yeah.
Off of Beach. I was gonna say, like, the more mainstream shops lose that kind of trap music and lose that
and they look like Apple stores.
Yeah, they're more professional, which I appreciate. But exactly. I'd rather have the trap stores be like, you know, just I don't give a shit like about like that trap lifestyle, prices? Dude. Like for the casual people, it's like,
yeah, I don't want to have to look like annoying. Post Malone to like come in there and buy weed. Like,
yeah.
I mean, right? I mean, at the end of the day, people would say like, let me be the opposite end of this argument, right? At the end of the day, people would be like, you know, well, no one's telling you to dress like that. You know, it's just like that's just the culture. But right, the counterpoint to that, it's like, okay, yeah, but do you guys want to be taken seriously, or do you guys want to just be like, you know what I mean, right? Because there obviously there is an avenue to be taken seriously. Because look at those like the dispensaries we talked about, right? Like Haven, and even the ones, dude, like the ones in Vegas, you know, they're super high class. Even the ones in Colorado, dude. I went to this one called the Apothecary, bro. It was like almost like a Hot Topic sort of like style. But either way, it looked like a store with a theme. You know what I mean? Versus like,
did Colorado have the sealed things to you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something up here they have it too, but in SoCal it seems to be way more lax with that. Like, getting away with the measuring it still.
No, yeah, definitely. Well, actually, it's probably different because, like, again, in SoCal, there's that's what we're Bosco and I were talking about, like how there's trap shops that don't have those seals because they're weighing it out like that, and then the legal shops, because technically to be legal you would have to weigh it out pre-scaled, right?
Yeah, because everything's supposed to be tracked from the
exactly.
pound. The pound is labeled.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're breaking down the pound. Oh, everything here is labeled. Here's that. Here's the testing for this exact. Like,
yeah,
you know, everything's broken down so you can keep track of it.
Pretty fancy, and it's nice. I kind of hope to eventually find weed at like 7-Eleven or like a liquor store, but so you can be like, all right, I'm gonna grab like a beer and a little eighth. And
and here's the thing, right? You could do that in places like when I went to go visit my brother in Colorado. I don't know if Bosco tried any of the places out there, but you know, you can get like joints, like a pack of 3 joints that are good fucking joints for like, you know, $10, right? Or something like that, you know. So it is cheaper in some sense, right? Because you'll get, because you know you're getting good stuff versus like a house joint. You know what I mean? You're getting like a name brand thing. That's actually really sort of like work. Now. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, same here. Especially out here. It's really different in Southern California, but yeah, compared to other places, right? It's when they do step their game up, it's like, and with what, like
in terms of the quality. But I was gonna say, like, it's just, instead of finding it in a liquor store, it pretty much is a liquor store, because when your brother and I walked into the shop, it's like, oh, let's see your ID. Okay, cool. And we just walked in.
Yeah,
so, like, but you know, it's really like casual.
Like the same way the liquor stores have those like cigar boxes, they would have like, you know, like a pop boxes.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, you want a gram here.
Yeah, but the difference is like I think in terms of quality, especially for that price. Well, at least what I noticed again with like joints and stuff like that, like where people would, like, let's say at the shop where Bartos used to work at, right? You could pay a $10 for an upgraded like house joint, you know what I mean? Versus over there in Colorado, you can pay $10 for a pre-roll joint, but it's like one that has a certified amount of like THC. You know, so you're getting like a better, exactly, and you're getting arguably you're getting a better joint, I would say. you know, because again, like, right, because you and Barktos have said like most trap shops here lie about their product, right, for the most
Yeah.
part.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah. They just buy like multiple pounds and then just rename it. And
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
like,
And that's
'Cause with the
actually I've been
labels-
noticing that here out here. Where like I stopped
yeah,
going
dude,
to
if
this
you
one
smell
shop.
two kind and they look exactly the same,
Dude,
probably
I-
one's popcorn
that
and one's fat nugs.
Dude, that happened to us at Sin, where I was like, babe, I think this nugget that I bought is the same one that you got like last week. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah. And I put them up side by side, and I said, yes, this is the same thing. So I
You got
didn't even go
custody, dude,
back.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
dude, I'm just saying though, like it's crazy, you know. So I've even like looked into different places where I've even kind of even thought like, man, I think I might have to start doing legal places because I don't want to get swindled like that, you know, like what the fuck, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
if you just like if you can recognize it, it's just hard because they're gonna tell you it's an indica, but it's most likely gonna be a hybrid. Honestly, unless you're getting like OGs.
Yeah.
Zach, cool. Yeah, that's so weird. Happened to me before. Can't remember where, when, but it definitely happened. It
Well, like
happens.
buying something
It's
that
definitely
was
the people
supposedly
that weigh
different.
it out.
It's the whole model that the shop does.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I had a friend who
whoever
worked
the
there, she
owner
would tell
does,
me
they get
about
the
it.
pounds or whatever, and then like the cashiers are like, all right, we'll just name it this. Boom, print the label, put it on the jar. All right, here. Oh, this is this. Oh, this is this. It's like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, dude, it's just weed, man.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
That's what's
Well,
kind of nice about it getting more official is that like not only is it better recreational for a better product, but for like medicinal, you're like, okay, I like sativa, but then you could even like incrementally like change it because
Yeah.
of what you can see on the box and stuff.
Yeah.
They like
that's what I do
they get
like. Yes.
Or sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna I don't have it now, but they have like little charts of saying like how much it does to like what part of your body and like what part of your head and how much it's really intricate, which is cool.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I appreciate the most, despite again, like yes, the legal shops out here are pretty pricey. You're going to be spending around like let's say maybe 50, 55, maybe $60 for like an eighth, which is 3.5, right? For something that's going to be relatively good, but you know, comparatively, that's something you could get at a trap shop for like $40, right? Like 35 to $40. So yeah, you're gonna be paying like
grab that little box thing.
You're gonna be paying like obviously like maybe like a $20 like upcharge, but yeah, I would hope like the benefit is that you're getting what you're getting, right? Because even I remember you saying that or even Barktos saying, right, that even like cartridges are faked, so it's,
oh dude, yeah, cartridges out there. If you want a cartridge, go to the Stizzy store, get a Stizzy cartridge, or
Yes,
they
I
also
threw it
sell
away.
non-Stizzy cartridges.
is that an
but don't
OPC
get,
or LPC or
it's in LA. It's like on the way to Jungle Boys. Just take the 5.
Hmm.
But Blowtorch dispensary shop that sells the best ice cream. I'm sure it is.
That's funny. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that did happen to Zach then. Yeah, exactly. So it's something that happens with the trap shops out here. So
Yeah,
and again, going back to
make their money, dude.
yeah, but
It's
that's the thing. Like going back to like circling back to essentially what it is, right? Where it's okay, yeah. That if that's the culture, fine. We're not saying like, oh, you guys have to assimilate and put on like suit and ties. That's not even it, right? The idea is that like at least take some sort of initiative to be taken seriously, right? Stop hiring like bud tenders that are just essentially eye candy for your guys for people to come back in and be like, oh dude, I want that bud tender. I don't know why I go there. Why I default that voice. I'm sorry. That's just my food voice. I'm sorry. No, you know what I mean. Like in that terms of like culture, like there has to be something that you.
It feels weird, like the whole. A lot of the like if you go to a weed expose and stuff, it'll be like. It's basically they're like, here's boobs, here's pot, here's reggae. Don't you want to smoke all day, 24/7? Like, come on, man! And it's like,
exactly.
It just tries way too hard sometimes. You're like, dude, I just want to smoke. I don't need to be like I don't know. Just,
exactly. No, it's true. It's
like
true.
So in the culture, like I love pot, man. This is who I am. It's
yeah.
Like,
I like it.
Some people that like they love
everyone.
that, dude. Like pot is a big part of their identity.
It's like, so what are you about? And they're like, I smoke pot. And like, cool. Me too. Like,
cool.
What else?
What do you mean? What else? I roll joints.
So what do you
smoke
do?
bongs. But what is
Zach
the weed
Cool.
exposes are pretty cool though, because I did get to see DMX at one of those, so I was
That's
pretty
funny.
hyped about that. I was like,
Oh,
hell
dude,
yeah.
DMX is going through some shit right. He's in a coma right now,
Yeah,
bro.
I think he might die.
Dude, yeah.
I think he's like brain dead
well,
right
they're
now.
gonna find. They're gonna. No, he's not brain dead. He's breathing on his own. But they're gonna find out essentially tonight what he's gonna what his family's gonna decide to do. Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
Yeah. Zach Cool says that's why you just take a tab before going into a weed expo.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
depending on what kind of experience you're trying to have at that weed expo. But
that's true.
I feel like that would either make me love it or like retreat even
exactly,
more. People are like, yo, and I'm like, dude, can I just have the free sample?
Yeah, exactly. Like you start looking away from people like, oh my god, this is too stimulating. Like, do you want a free dab? Yes. Just you're just like looking
away. Dude comes up with a leaf blower that's like shooting.
Yeah, no, you're just like, oh. But yeah, it's hilarious. It's. Yeah, I mean, and again, right? Like that culture does get annoying because even as people like us who do appreciate that, we're part of that community, right? We would say we are part of that community. We can even recognize sort of like the extremes, right? But the point is that this isn't even an extreme, like how Andrew said. You know, most of the time it is that when you see like weed, you usually see like a pair of tits or something, or like associated with it, right? Or reggae music, like exactly. So it's I guess maybe like the more as it starts becoming mainstream, it starts breaking out of that mold, which is actually hilarious because I just read a study that showed that cannabis users and cannabis smokers are more active than the average individual who doesn't smoke. But however, the study did not differentiate between CBD and THC, so take that for whatever you want. You know, so that could have been a lot of people being like CBD, pro CBD, with like a little bit of THC. You know what I mean? So who knows?
And what was the frequency of the smokers? Once a week, once a month?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I read like a couple of paragraphs where I was like, oh, this is interesting. So, but I mean, for the most part, it seems like, which I would actually say is part of like that new trend, right? I feel like everybody's trying to be like the new hip, like sort of like active stoner, right? Especially because of people like Joe Rogan and things like that.
Besides like a big part of pot in that theme is to like disconnect from technology and to have a human experience. You know, you're supposed to all hang out together and party, but like it's more active because you're all doing something together technically versus I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, which is crazy, and like not to get to, I guess like not personal in terms of names, but which it reminded me of like even thinking about back, you know, last week for your celebration, right? You're going away party and hearing like, you know, because I don't really know those people for the most part. The most who I know is who I know of who I've talked to, but it was really interesting hearing like how seeing that whole dynamic of not just like people like, right, like how I said that one person was arguing sort of like increasing social media
I would almost be able to defend that in a weird way, and that like this is going to sound odd, but a way that I've been trying to treat my depression, because I'm still trying to figure it out, is I might be trying to treat it like ADHD, where it's almost nice to have a documentary going on in the background so that your intrusive thoughts are distracted, so that you can like do your stuff, but as long as you're ignoring the thing in the background, like it helps you get shit done in a weird way.
Yeah, but I mean, like I would say a lot of people, you know, do like that's like what even Bosco and I used to do, like with The Office, right? Like that's what we've talked about that too. Like, but what I was gonna say,
you don't need to watch
exactly right. But that's what I was gonna say though, like that versus actually actively seeking social media to sort of like distract you from ruminating thoughts or things like that, right? I would argue that's probably not the way to go about it. And I thought that was just so interesting where I was listening and I was like, whoa. And again, I didn't want to go into it, right? Because again, I don't really know them. I'm not going to come in there and be like, oh, well, this is what I think, you know, and they're going to be like, oh, well, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, I guess,
you know,
more devil's advocate with that is like, if you're in a place, like say SoCal for me, is like, I don't get along with a lot of people. So I'll have a few close friends like you guys. But then, so if you use social media, you can actually meet a lot of people you never would, and actually go visit places. But it depends on what you're trying to do.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like that's different versus like what that person was arguing, because
using
that
it as
person
a tool versus just
Exactly. Using it as a tool versus
pacifier?
using it as like a pacifier or a distraction, right? Where because they were arguing for the sake of watching TikTok to distract them because they were arguing like about how quick TikTok is. And yeah, and
You watch the social media and all
there's
that?
I haven't seen the documentary, but I mean, most of the classes I've taken have talked about social media. Like, it's
It's
pretty
stuff
much
that's
like
right
it's
up your alley.
yeah, exactly. It's all linked into like there's always a section about social media, especially now, and like most psychology classes will talk about it because it's a
Well,
new
they say
thing.
it's like a casino, you know? You're randomly just
Exactly.
like pulling
Yeah.
the slot. Does this make me laugh? Does this make me laugh?
Exactly.
Serotonin. Again, serotonin.
Which is
yeah.
because which is crazy because that person even talked about like mental health on TikTok, right? Where there are videos like that, and it's like, man, it's crazy how like at the end of the day, I feel like that would be really, really like depending on the person, that sort of be like something that would kind of like work against the goal, right? Where it's like you should be telling people to use their phone less and probably go outside and to be more active, right? I could see like I guess it's overindulgence of anything, right? If you're overindulging in something, and especially if it's like something that's supposed to be positive, like someone on TikTok who's posting positive mental health videos,
That's
if you're
something
just
where I wonder
watching
if
that
I
over and over again, you're just watching that over and over again, I would argue that's probably like doing some negative adverse effects as well, right?
something I kind of joke with my sisters because they all have the Fitbits and stuff. But like even today when I was at orientation, there was a girl that was like, "Oh, my watch is telling me I got to stand up," like making jokes and stuff. And I'm like, you just say you have to stand up. Like there's so many times where
Yeah.
like I don't know, there's things where like we're having machines be like, "Oh, I need to drink my water." I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't know when to know.
That happens with Twitch,
It's,
right? You could
feels
redeem
weird
channel
sometimes.
points to remind streamers to drink
Yeah, true.
water, right? How
Yeah, I
But
was
that's also
redeeming
to
a bunch
like
of
give
water
them
on
something to interact with. But like,
No,
I don't know. There's a few things where I'm like,
yeah.
do you guys really need that automated? But it's also really nice to have
Yeah.
it like at a list and be able to check it out. But
No,
yeah, that's
yeah,
where
it's
I'm
true.
You
like
guys
the
are just
boomer
making it
me where I'm like,
interesting. Damn.
well, you need a robot to tell you when to stretch your legs. It's like,
No, it's true, right? Or you need your own phone to tell you to stop using your phone. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Right? So it's really crazy because like, and I sort of feel like it all ties in with like the anxieties of getting older, especially this guy's chewing ice into the fucking mic.
Sorry.
But going back into like what like those discussions, right? Because I did want to sort of get into those discussions with them because again, I've known I've known of those people because of we all went to the same high school, right? But we didn't run in the same crowd, right? So like the group of people I hung out with necessarily weren't like it's not like we hated them, but we would be like, oh, those are the Hollister kids, right? Like they weren't part of. I hung out with the punk kids, and
I get it. I was part of the hipsters, kind of.
yeah. So I wanted to discuss that because I thought it was interesting, like hearing people because these are sort of the same stuff that I've struggled with, and even I know probably you've struggled with, Andrew, more so probably with Bosco. Maybe Bosco might get there once he starts hitting 28 and 29, right? Is the idea of us getting older and start hitting that age where it's like, okay, maybe you shouldn't have your whole life figured out, right? But that's probably a lot to ask for. But there are those societal pressures where it's like you should be on some sort of path, right? And I feel like what they were discussing in terms of like getting older, seeing it as a negative thing, where it's like, like, oh my god, I'm old, or I'm labeling myself as like this, and I can't believe it, like, oh my god, I've expected more and more of myself. Because I remember I actually spoke to one of those people, I'll call her LW for initials. I spoke to LW, and this was one of the few times I ever had spoken to her, and it was at Banjo's house, one of his last parties where he had just graduated, and she had said sort of the same concerns where she was like, yeah, because we had be like, I had brought out, we were talking about the fact that oh yeah, we went to the same high school, we graduated the same year, and then she was talking about like how people went to school with are all doing all these things, and I sort of became a coach right there. And at the end of our conversation, she's ended up saying, wow, you made me feel a lot better about the situation I'm in life. And I ended up telling her like, yeah, dude, because at the end of the day, like, you're doing what you want to do, right? Because I appreciate things like that from like Gary Vee, where he'll say, don't look at your friends and see that or you may see your friends getting married, having kids, right, or getting a house or getting an apartment, but at the end of the day, that's what they want to do, right?
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
That.
Well, yeah,
what
like
they're
listen to
doing, focus
Bosco.
on you.
Listen to Bosco. Exactly. That's the thing, right? He's saying fuck that because that he doesn't want to do that, right?
Well, not even that. It's just like fuck what they're doing. Yeah, cool, happy for them, but just focus on what
Exactly.
you want to do.
Everyone's doing their own life.
Exactly.
You don't need to compare and worry.
Exactly. Yes.
That's something that I can't help but like. There's someone that will tell me like stuff that they're still proud of in high school, and I'm like, I don't know if you really want to be thinking about that anymore. That's like even longer for us to a point of like, are you even that person anymore? Like,
it's like Uncle Rico syndrome from Napoleon Dynamite, right? It was like, man, back in high school, I could throw a football right over that mountain.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that's where like I've been trying to think of the idea of like aging gracefully, where like you want to have some spling, but enough that you can
say
laugh.
that again louder for the people in the back. I love that. I love
aging
that.
gracefully.
Yes, thank you.
Like
thank
a thing that I love is like because we're in Twitch, we're like learning in the Zoomer domain. But then we'll also acknowledge how old we are and make fun of ourselves. So we're like able to like dance it where people aren't going to be like, okay, they're trying to be young, but we're also doing our own thing.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's sort of different because I mean we're the generation that grew up in the infancy of the internet. So I feel like we sort of have that sort of not incognito, but sort of ambiguous identity, right? We're 90s kids. We grew up in a really, really strange time. Like, you know, all of us here grew up, especially because we're quote unquote nerds. We grew up on the internet, you know. We may seem like cool guys, but growing up, like, yeah, I was in a band in high school, but you know what I did on my off time was play fucking World of Warcraft. I was indoors all day playing video games, bro. You know,
yeah, so, I did water polo and swimming, but I'm playing WoW.
Exactly, yeah. I was in sports, I was in wrestling, but behind closed doors, I was the biggest nerd ever. You know, so like that sort of culture of like where it's like ingrained with us, right? But now it's being accepted because back then, right, we were guys in sports, but we didn't really talk about that. You know, for the most part,
paved the way for some shit to become normal.
Yeah, definitely. Butcher says, at the end of the day, you matter and you got so much to give, and we all get through this together. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing about even like Bosco could probably even attest to, right? Because like Bosco, you're 26 or 27? My bad, I don't.
25, dude.
Oh shit! So even there you go, exactly. So even you can attest to that, right? Where it's like I was having a conversation a couple days ago with Sinbin and Carrie and Nat, and Nat was talking about essentially like how 90s culture is essentially like the new popular thing, where people look back, where young kids are looking back and thinking like, oh, I should have been born in the 90s because the 90s.
Yeah, it's no longer the 80s.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy? And that's like our childhood, you know? And like, yeah, Bosco is 25, but he was still a 90s kid, you know?
I kind of like the end of
I'd argue people look at the 90s in the same way that I kind of look at the 70s, where technology is just getting fancy enough that you still understand it. But if you go any farther, it's like almost magic. So like, when people go back a little bit, they're like, oh, you can like,
exactly.
I don't know.
Can you believe
that?
Like
see the gears.
There are people who don't know that what AOL is. Or AIM.
There's people who don't know what floppy disks are. They're like, hey, click the save button, but like they don't understand.
They're like, what is that?
Save button is actually
like, oh, it's a little save button.
Yeah, it's a little save button. It's a little save square. You know?
Yeah. It's like, no, dude, that was like the first USBs, dude.
yeah, no, it's crazy, man. It's insane.
Did you guys watch Close Enough yet?
Well, just what you've shown me. Just what you shown
me. There's an episode about Logan's Run where it's like everyone over 30 dies, and this guy is like, I remember Blockbuster Video. Dude. I used AOL to surf the web, and it's just like,
or LimeWire to dude, LimeWire. Oh, LimeWire, dude.
I did not have sexual relations.
Yeah, I know, right? I did not have sexual relations with LimeWire.
God, every boot cop boot.
You guys I gotta go whiz.
Every like bootleg thing that you wouldn't download correctly would end up being what's his name saying that, and you're like, oh fuck, I hope this wasn't a virus.
Like, yeah, honestly, luckily I was only downloading music, but even before LimeWire there was Napster. I didn't experience Napster. I went straight to LimeWire. So
same.
But allegedly. But
anime
is super popular now, and it's hilarious, dude. I've always loved anime. I grew up with anime, Gundam.
That's what I'm saying. We like paved the way for it. Or like
my sister showed me Sailor Moon. That was dope. Inuyasha, like, and now the anime is. Dude, I love anime. I just finished one today.
That was shit that like only came on late at night. People were embarrassed about it, and then now that basically we're parents' age, kids are growing up and they're nostalging with their parents about the '90s of like anime and but because of that, nerd culture is way more popular, and you know, like STEM stuff has taken off, and But yeah,
I appreciate it.
It was so hard to find Mario shit when we were growing up. I don't know.
Oh, dude, you'd have to hit swap meets or Asian swap meets. I'd always find like the Mario stuff. Remember Toonami?
Oh,
Yeah, dude. That's where I'd watch Dragon Ball Z and Naruto.
There was like, since you lived around here, did you go to the Whitwood Mall?
Yeah.
Before it was like gone. Oh hell yeah!
When back when the 24-hour fitness, when it was 2 stories, and it was like, yeah, dude.
You remember the like kid play pit that had those like wooden animals and shit? Like
vaguely.
Right. But one of my favorite spots in there would go is like the anime store basically, and they had like, you know, the like swimming pool with a bunch of brown bags. They had to like fish for a mystery thing and get some Pokemon cards, and
I remember the Puente Hills Mall. They used to have like koi ponds out in the middle of the whole like walkway of the mall. It's like, oh shit,
that's
dude,
cool.
That was awesome. I loved going there. That was one of the main reasons that was my favorite.
Yes, the kid play pit. That was the shit. Hell yeah.
Next to the pizza place
at the Whitwood. Wait, what? Wait, what happened? What happened?
We're talking about
Whitwood Mall.
What about at the Whitwood Mall?
I was trying to describe it like the kids play pit and stuff, and like the wooden animals. And I was saying that we'd always go down to that, like the anime store and like buy Pokemon cards. And then
there was an anime store at the Whitwood.
Yeah, it was like this really niche spot, and you could have like the fishing thing with like the little pool and the little brown
the Hello Kitty one. Yes.
And then you'd run around the weird like green orange tile plant centerpieces.
Yeah, bro, I remember that. Yes. Oh my god. Forget Zach. Yes, the kid play pit was the shoot next to the pizza place at the Whitwood. Fuck yeah, dude. You know what? Remember at the beach? We're at the beach. That was the skateboard shop at the Whitwood, bro. Back in the day, man. Oh my god, that was back when I used to get my shorties and my etnies. Dude, do you remember what about Nickel, bro? Oh, dude, Nickel. And then when they had the free games in the back, bro.
Okay, something I would love to bring back, but it would be almost impossible, is internet cafes. Apparently, it's still big in like Korea and stuff, which is why like StarCraft competition I think is still big. Is because you're in a room with all your friends and you're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking get you. Like, dude, it's so fun to like do that.
Howie's Game Shack, remember that, dude? Howie's Game Shack,
and then
dude.
Net for you.
Net for you was in La Habra, but it's not even there anymore, bro. Oh my god.
It's still up. The like wording.
The words are still up, but the building's not there anymore.
I always went to Web Station though, the one next to La Habra. We do like the all-nighters and shit.
Yeah,
that was so fun.
Remember Suncoast?
Yeah,
I don't know what Suncoast.
Yeah, I don't know what Suncoast is. Zach, last day of senior year. Yeah, bro. Oh, dude, are we humans? Are we humans or are we dancer? Go, Zach, go! Dude, freaking Zach, dude! I just did a bit that Zach and Zach should remember in his car. Dude, All Real Monsters, dude, exactly, man. The 90s.
See, and I think this is the thing, like you're saying, like the newer generation is like, oh, I wish I grew up in the 90s, so they could remember all this shit that we remember, that we
experienced. That's true. Yeah, exactly.
It's because when we were growing up, people were doing the same thing about the 80s to us, because now we're the parents' age talking about it.
But I mean, to be fair though, I wasn't. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, I guess history repeats itself.
And then Rugrats was fucking good too. Like, it seems weird, but like when you watch it from the parent perspective, there's like drama going down all the time, and you're like, "Fuck, this is deep." Like, I don't know. That sounds ridiculous.
There's that theory where like a lot of like the Rugrats is Angelica, like she's schizophrenic, and Tommy is dead. He's not real. Like a lot of other stuff, you know.
Do it again.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I remember.
It's intense too, like hearing like Drew and Stu fighting with each other the whole time.
Yeah,
like the dads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because Drew got like a business job, and Stu is like still trying to follow his dream. And so Drew's like, "Dude, you're making your wife work for you. Like, get a real job." And he's like, "No, she's letting me follow my passion."
No, that's true. Exactly, that's true, right? And society would look at that and be like, "Dude, like you fucking."
Especially in the 90s.
Exactly. Especially in the 90s, like you failed your fucking family, bro. Like you got your wife working for you, you fucking lazy asshole.
Like back in the 90s, even when you were divorced, people were were like, "Wow, you got divorced? I don't know if we should talk to you." Like,
no, that's true, dude. Yeah, people. Yeah, that's so weird, and I feel like that's probably like what's messed up with a lot of families, where it's like things like even divorce was seemed as something that was like a failure or something, where it's like, oh man, it's almost like breaking up, but I mean, obviously it's more serious because our assets and things tied to it because of marriage and stuff. But
to go back to what Lauren was saying, what we were saying, this is something I'll tell myself to like make myself feel better about where I am in my life. Usually people at our age would have already had kids, fuck them up, and got into a new marriage.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's so true. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
But like, there's a lot of people that like when the last generation were our age, they did that. They like rushed into a relationship when they were in high school. It didn't work out so well, and now there's like some blowback from that basically, and there was kids that like suffered from it, and now I was usually the byproduct. I don't know. Yeah,
no, that's true. That's true.
Like, okay, well, at least I didn't, cause any harm.
No, I know, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at least you didn't fuck up another individual. Church says all this nostalgia talk making me feel super old. That's good, dude. It's definitely
just open up another Cayman, dude, and just drown your sorrows, bro.
No, but here's the thing. No, dude, you don't have to drown your sorrows. You know why? Because life is like an RPG. The older you gain more levels and you gain more skills and knowledge, bro. That's just what it is, dude. Because when I was 25, I was a dumbass. Compared to now, I'm still a dumbass, but I'm a little bit smarter, Zach Cool says definitely how I was born. What Andrew said.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me too, and I know a few people. But yeah, at least, yeah, that's what's cool about our new era of like I would say paving that acceptance of both like video games, nerds. I would say more like fucking sexual acceptance and that like divorcee stuff, where it's like, yeah, some people might be divorced, that's okay, and it's like no longer a big deal. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel that. I feel that very much, bro. All right.
We're all doing our best.
Yeah, we're all doing our best, bro. That's all we can ask. Let me cue up this music as we wind down. You guys want to mention anything else as we start winding down? Got this music playing.
I don't know. To be honest, I have a Beetlejuice song in the background that's making me
one?
The jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay. I believe you. At the end where she's like,
when she's like
passed her math test and she's like floating.
Yeah, she's like floating. Yeah, that's funny. Dude, it's crazy because like the last, not last stream, but the stream before, I did a YouTube movie stream with Carrie, and we saw Kung Pao Enter the Fist. So if you want to see Kung Pao Enter the Fist, it's free on YouTube. Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, dude, it was cool. We did a stream of that. So the next one that we're gonna do, we're making up a list, but there's a couple of them already. There's a lot of good free movies. So if you guys ever want to do like watch parties, we could definitely hop on that and do it together as a as like a community, get all of our shit together.
Drinking.
So. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what. Yeah, dude. That's what was cool, dude.
I don't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's what I did.
But
I mean, I was thinking, dude. I was even dabbing with Kung Pao, dude. Taking dabs while the pew pew was going on. You know what I'm saying? But were you, Andrew?
My roommates have Diablo 3, and we're thinking about playing it. And I thought that'd be a fun game that we could all play. I think we all could play 3, and I never played the expansion.
I think I have Diablo 3 actually. So. Listen to Billy Ocean and Caribbean Queen, nice. I've heard that I've heard that song a couple times. But anyways, all right, y'all. That was dude, look at that, an hour and 26 minutes down in the books. We went over our limit this time. We went way over our limit this time. We peaked at like 12, 13 viewers, man. That's what's up, dude. So we had some strangers coming in and knocking on our doors. Did we let him in? Who knows?
I don't know.
But who knows? Anyways, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching the 15th episode of the Fighters Guild. Shout out to Zach Cool, Mod Extraordinaire, as always, coming through the chat. Blowtorch Beer, Sinbin. Thank you to everybody who awesome podcast, and it's getting better. Thank you so much, Blowtorch. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Blowtorch.
Yeah, dude. We've been getting better and better the more we keep on doing it. That's why we definitely we're making it a scheduled thing. So. Anyways, thank you so much for watching us. We appreciate it. Appreciate all the shares and all the likes. Make sure to follow each of our individual Twitch channels: twitch.tv/Bosco in Disguise 1 for Bosco right here, twitch.tv/bearded_Raven for Andrew, and mine is twitch.tv/Natty Mike, all in one word. So thank you so much for watching the 15th episode of the Fighters Guild podcast. We hope you guys like it. If you guys like what you see, don't have to follow, spread the link, let people know to watch this cool group of guys. Super Helmet's got you covered during these tough times and these COVID times, man. We're here to provide the entertainment. We're here to provide that homie talk. You know, we're here for you guys. And also look out into skits. We'll be filming some skits soon. There's a couple skits I've been talking with Justin already. These guys are going to be in the know pretty soon, pretty much after this. But so yeah, we're going to be looking into filming skits again. So go ahead and check out our YouTube channel. Yeah, thank you so much for coming by. We'll be back next Thursday, same place, same time. You know, until next time, we say goodbye. Y'all have a good one.
Later.